It is going to work. Sweet. Today is a good day, gentlemen. Today is a day I will never forget. One of several. Because today I found out that yesterday, November 21st, the court on the dog attack case filed a notice recusing Sandcork by the presiding judge. The presiding judge is the head boss judge of the whole courthouse. St. Charles County is a big courthouse, several judges in it, several floors to it, 6. It's a 6-story building. I just can't tell you how satisfying it is. It's a satisfaction that cannot be bought. It can only be earned. In any case, I decided to come out here to the O'Fallon Police Department / courthouse because Timothy Engelmeyer and the traffic court case is now up next. I am not divulging my decision and response to this attempted recusal by Sandcork. Maybe I don't want to let you go, Sandcork. Anyway, I'll be filing a motion this upcoming week. And I'm going to be putting mad pressure on the record. Oh, man. I'm going to be getting it delayed, regardless of which way I go, because the next hearing is scheduled on the 18th. And the next traffic court hearing is on the 17th. Now, I heard 18th, and if I looked at my documentation, I believe I can find documentation that it was written 18th. But in any case, in these cases, it is now posted as the 17th. It is posted as an attempted trial. Another bench trial. Before it was listed as just a hearing, but now it's a bench trial. And, so, the last time I was in a hearing with Engelmeyer for this traffic court case was when he attempted to pull a bench trial. I've talked about it a lot. I'll summarize it here. I showed up first in line. My name was first on the list. I was put last. Everybody was out except government employees working against me. He then started a bench trial, even though I have no assistance of counsel, and he has not addressed that issue at all. He has not claimed that I am pro se. He has not claimed that I'm representing myself. He's not claimed that I haven't tried to get one. He's not claimed that the public defender's office is available. He's not mentioned anything about it or inquired as to anything about me retaining assistance of counsel on this criminal charge. And the reason why it never gets brought up is because I'm not allowed to speak about anything that's not on his agenda, just like with Sandcork. And then he runs out of there. So here he is at the bench trial, no jury. And by the way, the prosecutor, Kyle, said that even if I file a motion trial de novo and get this moved to St. Charles County so I can get a jury, they're going to cite one of their little, again, court rules that they don't have to obey any Constitution or Supreme Court anything. Not that I want them to, but they just override every inch of that, tear it up, ban it, in effect. Ban. I do not enjoy any protections from the Bill of Rights, ever, at every point in time. So they do that and then say, if we're only charging you for X amount of time and not a year, or X amount of money and not this much, then we're not paying for a jury. We're not giving you the right to a jury, even though it says everybody has the right to have a jury when charged with a crime. They probably say, oh, we're not calling this a crime. We now downgraded it to infraction, or ordinance you violated, or some other such legalese lingo, so they can avoid the, oh, it's not a criminal charge, therefore you don't get a jury. Because they know that they cannot put me in front of a jury. If they believed they could put me in front of a jury, I would have already been in front of a jury. Not once, but twice. I've already faced, let's see, 2 attempted trials between these 2 judges. And despite the fact that they have all the guns, obviously, and all the jails and all the threats that come with those, they haven't been able to do it. So getting back to the topic here, the last time I was with Engelmeyer, I think it was July 15th, 16th, that time. Anyway, I'm pretty positive it was. Anyway, yeah, he had scheduled that trial to begin 4 hours before I had to be in St. Charles, on purpose, with a smile, knowing he was double booking the same day. I'm supposed to go to 2 trials in the same day. Okay. If I'm wrong, why did I file an extension when they tried to do that again? And then they said, oh, okay, we'll give you the extension so we don't double book you. Because that's on the public record. Anybody can see on CaseNet. I also found out that they are divulging the most sensitive private information about someone that nobody wants online, on public. Against their own rules, they're doing this. And so I'm going to be I have documented hard copies here. I was going to go into this. They apparently closed the whole thing down on a Saturday. They'd not even open up the lobby at all for the police station. You can't walk in or anything. So I was just going to hand them stuff and make some recordings, but that's not going to happen. So, yeah, this is what Engelmeyer tried. It was the most Orwellian 1984 thing I've ever experienced in my 10 years of doing this. It was more heinous and like abusing of power than when I was in a hot box in the basement of a Leon Valley, Texas police station in June with no AC and no windows, no ventilation, in a room that was so small I could not spread my arms on either dimension and not touch both walls. While I was handcuffed in that room for obviously no reason. I'm the only one in there. More heinous than that. Not as heinous as being legally sexually assaulted. It takes second place to that still. So Engelmeyer, yeah, this is what he did. So he will not allow me to bring up the fact that to ask the question, what plea do you have on the record if you're proceeding with a trial? Because I have not even entered a plea, let alone one of not guilty. I've come here with every full intention to plead guilty, and if I could be informed of the cause of nature, I've told you that. Now, he would never even let me get that much out, obviously, because they can't let me speak. Let me speak on that for a second. Ever since I've had to deal with these 2 judges, the only 2 judges that do not care at all about appearances or addressing the 2 issues they normally have all other judges I've ever been in front of, which is the lawyer and the plea issue. Once they stop caring about that at all, well, now they can't let you talk about it at all. Before, I could talk about it all I wanted to because they would constantly go to battle on the 2 issues. They would bring them up. The lawyer and the plea were on their agenda. They would bring them up for us to talk about. These judges, it is not on their agenda. It is so much not on their agenda, they can even have a prosecutor schedule a Feretta hearing, which is to do nothing but address the assistance of counsel issue, and the judge won't even read the fact that the prosecutor filed that many days ago, and goes into an open court hearing completely unaware that it was scheduled to be a Feretta hearing in the first place. Then he proceeds with the entire hearing and doesn't mention the assistance of counsel issue, then gets fired by the presiding judge after I pay $75 for the 3 recordings of my last 3 audio recordings that they know are going on social media. While I'm giving the state AG so much hell, they are calling me. Their lawyers are calling me. So stressed out that the last time they called me, and it was a surprise to me because I didn't smell it coming, they hung up on me. It was at a very crucial time when I just got done saying, this is going to be a federal lawsuit. It's likely going to be class action. It's going to name the no redress of grievance and the zero judicial oversight primarily. And anybody who's ever been into that jail and had somebody pretending to be a judge who would not identify themselves or their title or their office, but was demanding a plea while you were in chains, that's going to come to the front, bitch. Click. No, I didn't say bitch. But it was me speaking like this that got her to hang up. I'm calling them back. Can you please have someone with enough experience and professionalism to communicate what it is you guys have to communicate to me? Your claim, not mine. Without hanging up on me. Twice now I've had 2 female lawyers from your office call me and claim that they had the answers I was looking for when I filed the complaint, and that they were going to email it to me, and that they were just confirming the email, which they both did. And then I get nothing from your office from them whatsoever. Yes, I check my spam folders. Okay? Gotta call them again and get on them to give me an answer. Why is the most powerful prosecutor in this state not charging a human being who is pretending to be this judge, but is openly violating Missouri state statutes published and posted on the courthouse in which they're quote unquote serving? That they have to recuse themselves, that they have to, through Missouri Sunshine Law, provide exculpatory evidence, never mind the Brady requests that go ignored. All the motions that go ignored, not ruled on. And if they are ruled on, not denied automatically without grounds given. Let me get back to the point. They cannot allow me to talk. So, daddy government, when you switch to this tactic of not caring about the lawyer and the plea, your judges will not let me talk. And that opens up a whole new can of worms, because now I can't even object. Now I'm having to say, can I even make record? Now I'm being constantly interrupted and not allowed to even finish one single sentence to completion. They are presuming they know my meaning and then responding and it's a false understanding because they won't let me finish. They put lies, open lies on the record and will not allow me to speak and refute their lies in an attempt to get the record to look like they have made all these statements and I never objected, so obviously I had no problem with it. I've had to say things like, I disagree with everything this judge has said and is about to say because it's factually incorrect and the record proves that. And I can't even get that much out because they'll interrupt me and say, oh no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this other thing. And now that's not on the record. So I'm having a freaking tea party here, man. This is just, I couldn't be happier. I am a pig in mud. I could not be happier. Come roll with me. You know what I mean? Here I am in front of your courthouse. I'll be here again, and I'm letting you know what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to be very polite to everybody in the police department. They have been, other than one incident where they were enforcing the prosecutor's command to have me removed, even though I did and said nothing to justify such a removal from a public place where I was conducting public business, professional court business is what I'm attempting to conduct. You guys just watched me turn what he wanted to be a 5-minute convo into a 20-minute convo with this prosecutor, which I have recorded and will release. Which ended with him walking away and declining to answer further when I asked him, great, you gave me an answer as to the factual evidence you provided regarding the element of jurisdiction that the judge admitted I was presumed innocent of. Is that the only thing you're using? Is this ticket that you just claimed you're using? Is that it? Is there anything else you're using other than the ticket? Oh, I don't have time for this. I'm walking away. Get him out of here. Other than that, O'Fallon Police, you were fine. And Myers already got back to me. There's a captain now involved. I was planning on speaking to him on the matter as well, because I want these 2 cops in front of me, not to apologize, not for an ego, not to make a scene. Everything's all calm, chill, and laughing and friendly with these people, right? But to just make it known. When you force somebody out of a public building, you are threatening violence. If you do that at the command of a prosecutor who has no authority to issue such a command based on my behavior, then you're basically doing it for no valid reason whatsoever, according to your own rules, not my claims, right? So you just need to be made aware that if a prosecutor tells you have him removed, you at least need to ask, what did he do? You just watched me be more than peaceful and civil and laughing during a contentious 20-minute conversation with the man in your lobby, sitting at a table while recording it. Obviously, I'm a peaceful person, and you're threatening to kick me out. Okay, that's it. Let me get past that part. So other than that, O'Fallon Police, I'm going to be nothing but courteous and polite to you. I'm going to give you a copy of the emails, the last two that Major Myers, who is the assistant chief of police, have had, the last two emails we've had over the last week. And it's because they have a lot of questions on them. And you know what? I'm going to read them right now on this live stream. I filed a formal complaint to the O'Fallon Police Department regarding the crimes this Engelmeyer is committing against the wall, the statues posted on the wall, Missouri state statutes. He is to recuse himself whether he likes it or not, and he won't. On that alone, never mind that arrested me on a false charge of failure to appear when I appeared for an hour and 15 minutes. Told him he could rule in my absence and that I had to leave to make a trial that he scheduled me in conflict of in St. Charles County for a more serious charge in just an hour. That one, right? Charging me $500, having me arrested, having me go through another bio scan will produce a pornographic image of every curve in your body before they'd let me out. Even if I paid the money, I would still be in that jail, according to them, because I wouldn't go through the bioscanner. That'll come out too. So here was some emails you might find interesting. I filed a formal complaint. I expected a formal response. I am taking this as evidence to the federal jury and social media, saying this is the local police department's response to my allegations, undeniable proof that this man is violating Missouri state statutes in his position as a judge, which should carry more serious criminal penalties because you're flexing power like that. And then this whole protect and preserve and all that, they're not protecting and preserving or serving anybody with it. They serve as the bailiffs in here, and they allow it. So here is the emails. You got to read emails from the bottom. Okay. There's only two. I try to keep them short. I need two separate pages here. Okay. So I believe this is the first one. Yeah. This is the first one. Okay. So on Wednesday, November 12th, Major Myers responds to my request to get a formal response from the authority of the police department itself, because I'm taking it to a federal lawsuit regarding Engelmeyer breaking this law, them not doing anything about it, them referring me to the state AG, the AG, and them referring me to the commission. The commission have already been through and proved they don't do anything. They prove it themselves, really. Right? So I'm just compiling all this evidence, and I don't hold anything personal against Major Myers whatsoever. The guy's just doing what he can't do any other thing, really, without getting in trouble. I don't hold that against him. In this, I don't. So here's what he said, and this is just hilarious. I read this, so I just laugh and just chuckle. Like, I totally expected it, but it always still just makes me giggle. He goes, Mr. Pierce, regarding your request, I did some examination on your complaint. As your issue with Judge Engelmeyer is procedural and not criminal, we in the police department do not have any jurisdiction over the court process. Regards, DM. That's it. That's it. My line by line, issue after issue after issue of this guy breaking existing Missouri state statutes, Missouri Sunshine Law, false arrests, not allowing me to speak, not allowing me to have a lawyer, not allowing me to enter a plea, not allowing me to have a jury, due process as a whole, while he's admitted I'm presumed innocent. Won't allow me to make record, won't allow me to clarify anything with the prosecutor in open court, won't allow me to communicate with the man. Right? All of that, Myers, doing what I guess he had to do, the chief is in on this, they always are, says that, quote unquote, procedural and not criminal, is how he brushes it off. Now, they don't even give me a written response. They don't give me a written document as a response to my formal complaint under penalty of perjury. You can be charged with filing a false police report, keep in mind. They're not threatening that. Oh, no. But they're not giving me an answer? Bullshit. I can do this without swearing. Don't swear, Joe. Okay, so here's my response. Okay, here's my response. I go, and this is just how I start. And not recusing him in accordance with the Missouri statute posted on the wall issue, question mark. What other statutes are considered procedural, sir? So I may know I can break those statutes and won't be arrested by police or charged by the prosecutor's office, right? I go, maybe you're referring to the fact that he will not allow me to have assistance of counsel and attempted to put me through a no jury trial. Maybe the issue you mentioned is because he had me arrested for a failure to appear charge when I in fact did appear at the requested 9 a.m. and could stay until 10:10 a.m. because of another attempted no jury trial I had to defend myself from at 1 p.m. at St. Charles County. I'm asking, when you say procedural, not criminal, are you talking about this issue? Maybe not. Maybe you're talking about this one. What about this one? Maybe you're talking about this one. Because I'm bringing up the fact that there are obviously multiple issues. You're trying to sweep them all conveniently under one pathetic umbrella with massive holes in it that lets all the rain in, sir. And they know it. You know, they know it. All right, and I'm just chilling now. I'm just chilling here in front of the, see? I'm just chilling here in front of the damn courthouse on a Saturday afternoon. All right, where do I continue? I said maybe, okay, one that he knew about and scheduled me on the same day of anyway. How is someone supposed to prepare for 2 trials in one day? Both with no plea entered, both without assistance of counsel. Right? I go, next paragraph. Does the O'Fallon Police Department know where these rights come from? Because the ones I'm talking about are a Bill of Rights, right? And I'm not drawing upon their authority. I'm not saying, hey, you should do anything or I know the truth. I'm saying, do you even know where the rights I'm talking about with having assistance of counsel and having a jury come from? Because they're acting like they don't when they don't respond. Because in my formal complaint, which I can publish, I addressed all of these line by line, right? Gosh, am I actually going to read my comments on this live stream? Wow. Maybe I will. Somebody's giving me some ups. All right, let's see. Where do I continue here? I go, do the officers value the oath they take to defend them, as in the rights? Again, not calling upon the oath, just bring it up. It's your words. It's your party, man. It's your world. I'm just living in it. Next question. Why are they not being defended? Next, if you need proof, I have all recordings except the one of the attempted trial, because he told me he wasn't recording and he'd throw me in jail if I record, so I didn't dare to. That's in there. These are all just jab, jab, cross, uppercut, left, hook, hook, jab, jab, cross. You know, it's just one after the other after the other. This is relentless. I love it. I put thought into it, obviously. I go, how are we to conclude that there is any meaningful redress of grievances? How is the public not to conclude that there is no equality under the law? So I'm reading this backwards, but I mean, out of order, but sorry. I continue here. Why are they not being defended? If you need proof, I have all the recordings except one. So again, I ask, the public is asking and will ask, what statutes are considered procedural so we know the police won't get involved if citizens violate them? How is the public not to conclude there's no equality under the law? How are we to conclude there's no meaningful redress of grievances? I got the prosecutor to admit that they used the ticket as evidence of jurisdiction. My next sentences were, and I have this convo recorded, outstanding. Thank you. Hardly anyone ever dares give me an answer to all. At all. Now, is that the only thing you're using regarding the element of jurisdiction, or is there anything else you're going to use or are using? At this point, he claimed he had to leave and would not answer that question while smiling because he knows, we both know, I can beat him and prove his claims illogical and unethical. I left a message with them to get an answer to my question. I was going to park this camera in front of the prosecutor's office too. And hey, Kyle, I want to make another appointment, Kyle. Now that I got Sandcork fired and recused by the presiding judge, my spotlight of attention is now back on you, Kyle. Kyle, let's have another meeting. My question is that the only thing you're using as evidence, Kyle? Or is there anything else you're using as evidence, Kyle? Because your judge admitted I was presumed innocent. and presumed innocent of every element, including jurisdiction, Kyle. I continue. At this point, oh, he claimed he had to leave. Blah, blah, blah. I continue. They can't answer that question, Major Myers. It's a catch-22. There is no consent of the governed. They're running legalized extortion. I will expose this and will be suing in federal court, the state of Missouri, the county, and 2 cities over this, and I'm going to win. The hatred for judges has never been higher. They've never been more insanely abusive. There is zero judicial oversight, and they know it. Your officers protect them. Your oaths mean nothing to the public if you are complicit. These times will pass. AI is coming. Accountability is unavoidable. I preserve these records so I may pursue legal justice many years from now when the power that currently protects them is no more. Now, keep in mind, this sounds all kind of like lofty and all higher and mighty or whatever. I'm writing this in the sense of this is a document that I want for my life to stand the test of time. I am looking at this going, okay, I'm going to read this in a decade or two, and I want to know exactly where I'm coming from. What was my overall purpose for doing this? I'm informing everyone. I play the long game. I don't do, oh, I'm mad now, I'm angry or emotional now, and that fades and time heals all wounds. This is a labor of love. I'm not angry at all. I'm always laughing and mocking, and oh yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning. There's that too. Because can anyone else, look, it's not bragging if you swish the 3-pointers from behind the half-court line. Can anyone else do this? Can anyone else do this better than I? I've been looking for 10 years. Can anyone else do this better than I? I'd really like to find that person. I'm just informing them what they're up against. It's just me making a statement that communicates to myself many years from now. This is what this is about. I continue. Please let me know how I can become familiar with every officer there so I can successfully... Oh, we had a conversation about this, okay? I might dress up like Santa Claus and be wearing an unloaded and empty semi-automatic shotgun and an unloaded and empty long rifle or carbine. Walking the streets, holding a sign saying, have these judges been naughty? Question mark. With a Santa hat and everything. I'm growing my beard out. I'm making a big funny, hey, I want to be peaceful and I don't want to be scary because you're going to get calls in 911. And I don't want any trouble. I want your call to be like, oh, he's already given us all the information about him. He's got no record whatsoever. He's perfectly peaceful, lawful. He's not going to hurt, harm anybody or threaten anybody. We've already confirmed those weapons are completely empty. And he's just out there exercising he wants to protest. He doesn't like what a judge is doing. That's all. I don't want to get shot, right? So I talked about this with Major Myers. So I continue talking about this in the email. I go, please let me know how I can become familiar with every officer there so I can successfully check in my weapons to be inspected for being empty and safe, so I get on the street and draw as much local attention to the insane psychopath and sociopath the city of O'Fallon has hired to be their judges. Probably not necessary, Joe. You could have done better there. Hey, I'm not perfect. These people have no conscience, no shame, no regret, no remorse, and no apologies. They are not human psychologically like the rest of us. Like animals, they predate without shame. My life's mission is to smile while exposing them. When I sue and win... Oh, crap. Oh, man, I let that be spelled W-H-E-N instead of W-I-N. Oopsie. See, it won't catch those when you do audio dictation. Yeah, that can happen. I go, I will fund my efforts. No one can stop me unless it's lethal. I will never quit. Again, just words for the future. And just letting them know, like, don't even waste everybody's time by thinking, well, maybe if we just make one of these bullying type visits to his house, he'll get the message and shut up and chill out. Or maybe if we just pull him over and give him really hard or whatever. Or maybe we just give him an extra, like, maybe if we just, whatever, fill in the blank. I'm just letting them know it's just a waste of everybody's time. Yours first, because I'm just not going anywhere. You hope to convince them of this so they don't do exactly that, waste their time. I'm 13 months into this case because of exactly this. It takes them forever to realize, oh, Jesus, he's not one of these angry ones that just gets over it, moves on with life. He's actually doing this for fun with a point. I am poking the bear in the innermost chamber of its heart. Don't waste our time. Okay. All right, how do I continue here? Let me continue. I go, I want all charges dropped. I want my 500 back. I want him fired, and the female judge here too. I want mandatory training for all bailiffs regarding actions to take when judges abuse their power. I want him to publicly apologize to me in person, and I want him charged with crimes and arrested. Now, this is just me having a little moment like in the Braveheart movie where he goes, in order for us to accept a truce and not fight you today, you're going to have to walk in front of our troops, put your head between your legs, and kiss your own ass. You just give them something they just cannot and will not comply with, just to let them know this is what it would take to shut me up. Because that's never going to happen, right? All that is never going to happen. I continue. Of course, none of this will happen, so onward this ordeal goes on for us all. I look forward to working with you and your officers. They have all been nothing but professional thus far, and it is my fervent hope that I get an opportunity to make the O'Fallon Police Department look great because they listen to the public and put the brakes on a judge breaking Missouri law in the open while extorting everyone over nonviolent victimless crimes. I just can't help but get a jab in here and everywhere I can. I go, how does this guy's compensation break down anyway? This is how I ended it, right? This is how I ended it. How does this guy's compensation break down anyway? I'd really like to get public access to all public records so I can submit them to the AI Doge program that's rolling out. Respectfully, Joe Pierce. Here's my cell phone number. I go, look me up on Missouri CaseNet if you would like. First, middle, and last name. He writes back, Joe, I received your voicemail. I thought you had said all you want was a written email saying that we, the police, would not act against Judge Engelmeyer. I responded, as your complaint is procedural and not criminal. We have no jurisdiction. I know we each spoke to the AG's office. I am by no means a lawyer, but if you wish a change in venue, I think you have to file a motion with the court. Again, this is not legal advice. I do not recall seeing a written complaint about the officers. I included Captain Hassan Lop in this email. If you have a complaint about officers, he will contact you Monday, assess your complaint, and advise you on how to proceed. I hope this helps and enjoy the weather this weekend. It is supposed to be spectacular. DM. I like Major Myers. I like all police until they give me a reason not to. So then, after he tells me that, here's my email in response. Now, I just want to tell you before I give his email that I understand that he's doing what he has to do, but they responded to me wanting to get specific with more vagary, and I'm not going to let vagueness stand, right? You want a specific answer, you got to ask a specific question. I did, and they're still staying vague. Now, he has no power. He can do nothing. It would certainly have to go through his chief before he can do anything, and then it's going to go through the mayor before the chief can do anything, and all this is going to be coordinated with the little prosecutor's office here. And so I'm not expecting anything. I don't mind when he doesn't give me anything. It's not personal whatsoever. I'd fist bump the guy. I don't even care. There's no anger in me whatsoever toward police. They are just like foot soldiers, and I'm not on that battlefield. And it doesn't mean I'm better than them. I actually have respect for them for the fact they can get called into some kind of heinous situation. I just have respect for that. But that's all I have respect for. And yeah, I'm just stating, this is my goal, is to just develop this relationship where we can just get to the point and not waste anybody's time. Like, they know where I'm coming from, what I'm going to say. I know where exactly they're coming from and what they're going to say. So rather than play the game, we just get right to the point. This is going to go over your head. There's going to be a federal lawsuit. I need a formal response from this police department that I can give to a federal jury and say, I went to the very top of every organization possible that any government employee told me to pursue to get a redress of grievance, and there is none. There is no judicial oversight. Therefore, there is no equality under the law. How many of you are innocent of the crime that you were charged with but just had to take a plea? Because there's a class action effect here. And whether it will be effective or not is entirely dependent upon the amount of public pressure that can be generated in favor of it as a cause. So I'm going to let that sit right there, and we'll let the future do the talking for me about the results of that. Here is my email in response to him. Now, I'm trying to be like a firm way so that, again, we stop continuing to waste each other's time. We're still at a level of communication where we're not getting to the heart of the matter. I'm trying to get to the heart of the matter as soon as possible. I could respond to comments, but I'm just not going to until I'm done, if I do at all. So here's my email. I go, Derek, and I hope he takes this. It's hard to convey tone in text, obviously, but I'm hoping he didn't take it like personal or anything. Anyway, I go, Derek, if you and I are going to work together, you're going to have to never treat me like an idiot again. Because that's what it was. I'm not an idiot, dude. I go, whoever came up with this, quote, procedural and not criminal, close quote, line, I go, shake my head, man, hilarious. I go, please attach a copy of the formal complaint I made to the department and the companion document I provided to the prosecutor's office. I have them if you do not. I want him to remember my words that I said in the complaint. Okay, you need to respond to all of them. A blanket, all of them are all procedural, not criminal, but yet you're claiming you're not a lawyer. So you're using lawyer words while saying you're not a lawyer, and I'm supposed to accept that as an answer from a person with no law license. I'm supposed to take that as an answer to a federal jury that I pursued every action to get redress of grievance and equality under the law. All right. I continue. I state the following just as information, not anything negative. I remind him again. I'm filing a federal lawsuit, and it will become a class action lawsuit against the state of Missouri, the county of St. Charles, O'Fallon, and Wentzville. It will include everything Engelmeyer does, but specifically it will be for the state having zero actual oversight whatsoever, zero redress of grievances, and police and prosecutors who at every level point to each other and a toothless illusion called the commission that only a sucker would believe in. This is where your department comes in. This is your department's chance to respond when the case was actually happening instead of in the past to my formal criminal report filed against the judge for openly breaking Missouri statutes posted in the courthouse, for arresting under false pretenses, for denying assistance of counsel, a jury, an informed and voluntary plea on the record, and the right to be informed of the cause and nature. There are many other issues I will not bore you with, but it is even more extensive. If your department will do nothing, there is no equality under the law. You enable the acts because they can't happen without bailiffs. You are not responding to me or this case. You're responding to a member of the public clearly showing another resident openly breaking Missouri statutes. If anyone else did that, you would arrest them. Judges? No. So explain why you cannot or will not do anything against Engelmeyer. Cite a specific source or sources. Active legislation would be a must, but it's up to your department and what it wants to communicate to the public and to the federal jury. So, if, quote, it's procedural, not criminal, close quote, is your answer, please get the chief of the department to respond formally with that reply. No one can speak for the department but him. I will take whatever answer he gives to the mayor for his comment. All of this is going on the YouTube channel, and this is where I just let him know, if he wasn't already aware. Dear Missouri jury, and my voice is already trashed because I'm talking so much, a little loudly, with no water. One that has never made anyone a penny on purpose, then in the lawsuit. I'm actively engaged in getting the same response from the state AG office and 8 other agencies. You're not the only one I'm being a pain in the neck to, sir. You know, I try to keep things light, a little bit of humorous. You're not the only one I'm trying to be a pain in the neck to, sir. But let us not gaslight the legalized crimes openly being committed and protected by your department. By not replying to each and every one of the charges I allege under penalty of perjury, the federal jury will hear extensive details of every one of them. Your chief needs to decide how he wants to respond to this complaint, with the contents of the complaint specifically, not with any conversation between you and I, or a oversimplification like a random generalization. If I could be insulted, that would be an insult to the intelligence. Someone there thinks I am very stupid, and I don't care about that. What I care about is that they figure out I am not as quickly as possible so we don't waste each other's time in pointless intermediate steps that we both know respond to nothing whatsoever in a meaningful way. Next paragraph. My complaint is alleging your department has banned the Bill of Rights in that courthouse, and your police not only make it possible, you're on the same side. It's beyond complicit. It alleges you have an obvious duty to act according to the court of public opinion, especially via social media, to protect and serve, say you, and that not only do you not, but you protect the perpetrator. If someone said that about the place where I work, and it was going all over a tiny YouTube channel and into Nextdoor, Facebook, and a federal jury, and on a sidewalk Santa, I'd want to respond with more than, quote, procedural, not criminal, close quote. Next paragraph. This is why I am going to be waving to traffic and drawing all that attention. Please, because there is no redressive grievance path. One must find peaceful alternatives. In any case, this is my effort toward that. Let me know which way your department wants to go on this. Thanks, Joe. So I was going to hand hard copies of this email and all the clarifications within it, and a detailed response I'm seeking, that I've been seeking from day one, that they know I've been seeking from day one, in hopes of getting that formal document and reply from them. We will do nothing. We cannot do anything. I'm obviously getting the same thing from the AG. And of course, like I said, talking to the AG's window, or not the AG's window, the prosecutor's window here about, yo, I want another appointment, and I want an answer to my question that you ran from, which is the traffic ticket the only thing you're using regarding the element of jurisdiction in this matter? Or is there anything else? Yes or no? And then, of course, I was going to go to the court clerk window, show him a hard copy of the document that shows my personal information that should not be out on the public website, and say, can you retards fix this, please? Can you morons please fix this? Because in your job description, I'm pretty sure it says you don't post this. And here you are posting it on your arrest warrants. You morons. So, all right. I guess I was here chilling, talking for 42 minutes for the live stream. Got it all out. I expect the 3 recordings I ordered of the 3 hearings from Sandcork to be arriving this next week. When they do, I will publish them on YouTube. I can't wait. Oh, anybody who takes the time to listen to them. I mean, really all you got to do is, once you start listening in the first 60 seconds, if you have any interest in listening to someone whose end result was getting this judge recused by his boss, right? That was the end result of what happened. Anybody that has an interest in seeing how I just beat his ass is going to be hooked for the entire hearing. The last one was what, 25 minutes? The one before that was 1 hour and 19. God, I can't wait. I can't wait. Sandcork, if you think you have escaped seeing me in a courtroom, I wouldn't bet on that presumption. I may not just want you off the case. And Engelmeyer, the attention I was just giving Sandcork that got him recused is now turned toward you. And we have a date on December 17th, do we not? You're going to try to pull another bench trial? We'll see about that. I'm going to be filing motions that would put such a thing to rest. And I'm going to specifically be reporting you to the state AG office that, trust me, does not want to hear my voice calling them. Does not want me to be publishing what I'm going to be publishing about you on this website, on this YouTube channel called Dear Missouri Jury. So, you know, think whatever of me you want. I care not what anyone thinks of me. And enjoy that. We will see what happens, sir. But I will be filing motions, and there will be no bench hearing on the 17th, that I assure you. You've already tried twice, and it hasn't happened twice, and it's not going to happen this time. And if you think it's not going to be recorded, go ahead and think that too, Engelmeyer.